Einen wunderschönen guten Tag. Ihr seht ein Video-Interview von Maeglinsblog und Nina von Radioaktiv Laut und wir stellen euch heute eine Band vor, die ihr vielleicht noch nicht kennt, und zwar sind das Holiday aus Manchester. Die sind im Moment mit Disco Oslo auf Tour gewesen und wir haben sie ein bisschen begleitet und haben uns gedacht, wir stellen euch die Band mal vor. Ich bin hier mit Paul und Matt und es ist in Bremen und die Jungs haben gerade gespielt, deswegen schnacken wir mal ein bisschen über die Tour und so weiter. Hey guys!
Hi.
You've been on tour with Disco Oslo. How did that go? Like today was last concert. What's your overall thinking?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was different tonight. It seemed like we were playing kind of a different venue, but sort of wasn't the same as the other venues we've been playing. We played a lot of sort of what have been kind of collective run spaces. I don't know too much about this place, but it just seems a little bit different in the way that it's organised and run. For example, it's sort of €15 a ticket, whereas the other gigs have been sort of €5-6 and sort of run collectively. And so, but the sound was great. The sound man was great. And yeah, that's the last gig. We've all got sore throats. Yeah.
The overall tour though was well good, and they basically sorted us out with absolutely everything. And like bullies booked the tour and like giving us all the equipment, like sorted us out everything. We've literally just come to Germany and they've sorted it out. It's been amazing, and like Disco and Antikörper and basically Bully gets it absolutely sorted. It's really good. Yeah.
What did you think about the German crowd? Do the people differ in Germany?
Oh yeah, I thought it was really good. Like in England, if you're the first band on, no matter who you are, no one watches you, everyone will just stand there and bet you'd be lucky to get a clap. But in Germany, people sort of even nodded their heads. Yeah, even nodded their heads. I've seen a few shoulders sort of maybe move. Maybe they were coughing, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought it would be a lot worse. I thought the first band on never really gets to anyone to watch them, but people have actually brought records and said they liked it. I don't know, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, there was one person last night. We were selling our record for €3.50, and there was one person last night that gave us €10 and just said, "Well, just have that." We tried to give him change. We tried to give him another 2 records to make the money up. He was like, "Nah, we just want to support you." It's kind of different, and people are sort of really into it. I mean, Berlin. The other night there was 101 people through the door to watch the first band, which was just like super good to see and massively inspiring, and just gives you a lot of confidence. Sometimes when at a difficult time when you are going on first and you're thinking, shit, yeah.
You and I, we talked about subculture in England and Germany yesterday night. Do you remember that?
Possibly. Some of it.
I found out that people in Germany are really spoiled because we are always complaining that subculture is dying and there's like not a lot of space for like punk DIY shows. But you told me that in England it's even worse. Do you remember what you said? Would you just
I mean,
say it again?
I was probably just having a moan. In some situations it definitely is. There's definitely an infrastructure, an obvious infrastructure that exists in Germany. And that's like through networks of housing co-ops and gig collectives and stuff. But we don't necessarily have that same thing in England. But touring bands that have kind of been and seen how it is on the continent, seen how it is in the rest of Europe, a lot of people kind of try and bring that back. So for example, when we organise gigs in Manchester, we always try and provide like some beer and some food for bands. There's a few places you can kind of go to that will do the same as well, but we don't have the same level of infrastructure for punk rock at all. But it's definitely not bad, and things have got better definitely in the past few years. Sort of organising gigs in Manchester, you can get a regular crowd for a band that perhaps nobody's heard of coming out, which is really good. So it just requires a little bit more work, maybe. This has been built up in Germany, I gather, over like a lot of years. Yeah, it's always difficult to kind of understand how Germany actually works.
It goes deeper. It goes deeper than just the gig collectives, doesn't it? It seems like the whole he's saying infrastructure, like anyway, it's like collectives, and like it seems like it goes deeper than just the sort of punk circles, like the social centres and the community projects and all the things that were going on outside of punk as well. Seem very well organised and people working together. In England, that's what we suffer with. I think there's a few pockets of like places that are really good and have a good sort of community to the place, and sort of in Germany it seems a lot more frequent. Everywhere you go has a social centre, a space of like an autonomous space. But in England, there's a definite lack of that.
And I think the other thing is like sort of punk run or socially run places, collectively run places. So the beer's cheap, but then the money seems to kind of go back into either supporting the project or supporting the bands. Whereas in England, what we have to do is organise gigs and concerts at like at bars that are sort of mainstream bars that are run by people who have no other interest in making some money. So that's one big difference. But again, I'll use the word infrastructure. It's about the infrastructure. We don't have that like sort of tight network of places, and for punks run by punks.
Okay. I think it starts raining, so let's quickly talk about your record. This is how it looks like. It's green, and your guitarist told me that it should have been ganja green. Is that right? But somehow it didn't work out.
It's more slime green.
Yeah. But I think it's mint. But it's really pretty.
Mint. That's what I was looking for. Mint.
It's really pretty. There are 5 songs on it, and I think my favorite song on it is "Missiles on the Roof." Can you quickly tell us what it's about, Matt?
I think Paul would be better telling it because he wrote that song, so it's probably better he tells that one out.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically we had the Olympics in England just the last summer, and what happened was to prevent terrorist attack, the state thought it'd be a good idea to pop missiles on the top of people's roofs, on the top of flats, so on people's houses. So it's kind of basically about it, but it's more. The chorus says the Olympics, enjoy it. You should be having fun. So it's like this idea that we should all be into it, and we should be proud of this sporting event that's happening, that's costing millions of pounds, with this ridiculous kind of like this opening ceremony that was just like horrific to cost millions of pounds to have this firework display for everyone to sit there and cheer for an event that has been completely constructed by slavery and free by underpaid workers. Like in the middle of the Olympics, there was this whole community where they built a fence basically. There's like loads of aerial shots of it, and it's basically there was 25 people to one porta cabin. There was one toilet per 30 people and one shower per 75. All Asian workers, all shipped in, like it was complete basic slavery. And they basically built up, did all the groundwork, then got this place set up so that the government could spend millions of pounds for this fancy display of fireworks and fit missiles on people's roofs to prevent a terrorist attack. And it's just like, it's completely backwards and ironic that they're spending millions to prevent this attack when a supposed like a terrorist attack, when really the money they're making is coming from exploitation and people, and it's just one big sort of mess. They had like a big clean-up thing, so on the way into London there was like lots of houses that were squatted at one time, or that are now run down. So they had this kind of like big clean-up, so everything looked nice when people arrived at the Olympics, to give this impression that like, yeah, this is England, we're sorted and like whatever, but it just has nothing to do with like the poorest sectors of society, because it was costing sort of £250 a ticket, which is more than an average weekly wage for some people. So to go and just nothing to do with anyone, but we had it, and we had missiles on the roof, and
All this while families are starving.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's another one.
All this when families are starving and hardship is increasing for everybody, and all we have to do is just work to survive. If we're looking to have work, they're spending billions of pounds on vanity projects and missiles. Yeah.
So you can learn a lot about British politics when you buy this record. I think you can order it online, right?
Yeah.
Where?
If you're in Germany, get it from Antikörper Export, really good label. Or if you're in England, Pumpkin Records, Brassnet Records, Just Say No to Government Music. Is that Eager Beaver in Japan, a distro in it.
Lost Cat in America.
And Lost Cat Records in America. So it's really
Say Pumpkin Records.
So basically you can buy it everywhere. So last question before we go inside and watch Disco Oslo play. Tour is over now. What are the plans for the future of Holiday?
So we're going to record a couple of tunes. We're going to record a couple more songs. Maybe do a split with Disco Oslo. I think we talked about that when we were drunk.
I don't think they ever agreed. I don't think they agreed to have it. We're just going to tell them that's
they know now. They know now. So it's an indirect marriage proposal. Record some new tunes. We're playing a gig back in England when we return with like various different bands. Discharge amongst others. And just see how things go. Carry on doing what we're doing.
I think the best thing was burn our passports and stay here with Disco Oslo.
Yeah.
It's the safest bet.
Well,
I nearly did it.
Ad's already tried burning his passport once, and we had to kind of like tear it off him in a moment's madness, I think. But like, it may happen again tonight.
Okay, I hope you will return to Germany as soon as possible. Thank you for your time. And yeah, that was our video interview with Holiday from Manchester. And our next video interview will be with Mr. Davos from the awesome band The Loved Ones. So tune in the next time. And ja, wir sind erstmal draußen. Ihr könnt jetzt noch weiter gucken. Und zwar haben wir Holiday live on stage gefilmt und das könnt ihr jetzt sehen.
Making peace with the Palestinians because they can trust their leaders, they can trust, I don't know.